Hi, and welcome to the NFL Fan Forum. My name is Art, and this is my sidekick John.
What's up?
Today we're going to discuss our predictions for the Broncos and Seahawks games for this weekend. But first, our play of the day.
Now this game is all about this.
Here they are again. They took Gilmore out for one play. Back in. Wilson goes the other way. Deep downfield, and it will be caught for the touchdown.
First, let's discuss the Broncos versus Buccaneers. The Broncos find themselves dealing with a lot of injuries coming into this game. Quarterback Drew Lock is out for several more weeks, and quarterback Jeff Driscoll takes over. How do you think he'll do?
I think he's going to do pretty well, in my opinion. Jeff Driscoll, he looked a lot like Drew Lock when he first started. When Jeff Driscoll was starting for the Broncos, I was like, oh man, this is not going to go well. We're going to lose this game. We did end up losing the game, but man, did we fight hard. And Jeff Driscoll looks like a good backup for us. I just hope that we can have a winning season this year. And I think Jeff Driscoll will just do that.
General Manager John Elway signed former Ram and Jaguars quarterback Blake Bortles this week. What are your feelings about this signing?
I think it's kind of a little weird because Blake Bortles, he hasn't played it in a little bit in about a year now. And now the Broncos signing him. It shows that John Elway wants us to win, and we need experienced quarterbacks like Blake Bortles to help us get there to the playoffs. Blake Bortles, he might take over against Tampa Bay, but that's highly unlikely. Jeff Driscoll, I think he's going to 100% be the starter, and I think he'll be able to compete against this very talented Buccaneers offense and defense.
Running back Melvin Gordon looks to have a big workload this week. How well do you think he'll do against the Buccaneers defense?
I think he can do pretty decent, in my opinion. Buccaneers' defensive line is very, very scary. But Melvin Gordon, he's also very scary. And he has a very big body, so he can plow through these big guys. And I think he can do pretty good, but he needs to find holes so that way he can get around the defensive line and make a lot of touchdowns so that way we can defeat the Buccaneers.
Number one wide receiver Cortland Sutton is injured. It looks like rookie wide receivers Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler will have to pick up the slack. Will they have big numbers on Sunday?
I think they will. You have two very talented wide receivers, but they're both rookies. But they're still very, very talented. That's why Jerry Jeudy was a number one pick. And KJ Hamler, he could have been a number one pick if the wide receiver class wasn't so talented. They're both very talented, and I think they can have pretty big numbers this week.
Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, it looks like your defense has been playing pretty well lately. But can they stop quarterback Tom Brady and running back Leonard Fournette this weekend?
Leonard Fournette, I think we can stop to at least 100 yards or less like we did with Derrick Henry and James Conner. Tom Brady, bit concerned about because our defensive line and our edge rushers are not doing good at sacking the quarterback because we keep getting one sack every game. And if we keep doing that, we're going to get 16 sacks in the whole season, which is really not good. So we really, really need to get after the quarterback. And we better take advantage of it this week because the offensive line for the Buccaneers is very, very good. So we need to try very hard to get to the quarterback. I think we can stop Leonard Fournette, but Tom Brady, not so sure.
So let's move on to our predictions for this game. Looking at what I'm seeing for Tampa Bay, they are playing very well, but I know that Tom Brady doesn't like coming to Denver much, and he doesn't win very often here. So looking at some of the things I'm seeing, I'm going to give the Broncos a 24-21 win. What do you think?
Being a Broncos fan, I think the Buccaneers might win. So my prediction is we might lose 20-17. I don't want to do that, but I have a feeling we might lose again because the Buccaneers are just way too talented. So that's my prediction. So that'll do it for our Broncos predictions. Moving over to the Seahawks, who host the Dallas Cowboys this weekend. QB Russell Wilson is already posting MVP-like numbers in his first 2 weeks with over 600 yards passing and 9 touchdowns. Can he have a big day versus the Dallas defense?
I think he's going to have a really big day. His chemistry with wide receivers DK Metcalf and wide receiver Tyler Lockett is really off the charts right now, which is surprising considering we had such a shortened offseason. But I'm looking at it, and I think that he's going to have a very big game. Dallas's cornerback situation is decent, but not great. Not like the Patriots with Stephon Gilmore last week. So I think he's going to have a really big game this weekend.
Running backs Chris Carson and Carlos Hyde are starting to take off in the run game. Can they keep it going?
I think they will. I think Chris Carson really had a nice breakout last week, and he's been catching the ball very well out of the backfield as well. Carlos Hyde, he's showing a lot of niftiness and shiftiness in the running situation, and I think that's really good. And the offensive line in the run blocking situation, they're looking really good. They're really gelling together. I'm really happy with center Ethan Pochik. He's been a good pickup for center to start. And, of course, Dwayne Brown on the left side, left tackle. I think the running blocking is really doing good. And so I think they're going to have a big game this week against Dallas defense.
Wide receivers Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are really turning into an explosive duo. What will they do against the Cowboys secondary?
I think they're going to do a lot against this secondary. Again, the Cowboys traded cornerback Byron Jones, their best corner, to Miami this offseason. And now they're relying on the rookie Diggs. And I just don't see a whole lot of gelling yet. I don't see a whole lot of experience to stop these type of players yet. And so I think they're going to have a huge game in this game, maybe even a couple touchdowns between them. And I also like how David Moore is doing and Freddie Swain. So I think this wide receiver group is going to do very well this weekend.
Tight ends Greg Olsen and Will Dissly haven't done a whole lot yet this year. Will they break out this week?
I think they will, actually. The Cowboys linebackers are okay, but they're not the greatest. And Greg Olsen's going to want to make up for that drop pass returned interception against the Patriots last week. He's going to want to rebound from that. And I think Will Dissly's on the verge of breaking out. He's definitely really good. And then, of course, Jacob Hollister, the sure-handed one, he'll be there as well. He had a couple catches last week. So I think this will be the week that the tight ends break out.
The defensive line has done well against the run, but can they pass rush QB Dak Prescott without Bruce Irvin, who is now on injured reserve?
You know, that was a big blow when we lost Bruce Irvin last week, the ACL tear. Now he's out for the season. And I looked at all the options we had, and looks like we're just going to stick with players we already have on the team. It's looking like rookie linebacker Jordan Brooks might actually take over some of that pass rushing duty that Bruce Irvin had. And I'm excited about that because I liked Bruce Irvin's ability, but I also like Jordan Brooks' speed a little bit more than I did with Bruce Irvin. So I'm hoping that he can do some things. They look like they're not going to sign anybody, so we're going to rely on our own players to make that pass rush happen. So Benson Mayowa and Jordan Brooks are really going to have to step up and get to the quarterback.
The Seahawks secondary has solid players like safety Jamal Adams, but can they stop Dak and those Cowboy receivers?
You know, this is going to be such a great matchup to watch. Cowboy receivers, you've got Amari Cooper, you've got CeeDee Lamb, you got Gallup, all these Michael Gallup guys, they're all really good receivers. So I'm looking at, guys like Quentin Dunbar and Shaquille Griffin. They're really going to have to step up and prove themselves this game because those are really good receivers. I think it's just going to be a really good matchup. I think they're going to get theirs. They're too talented not to get theirs a little bit, and Dak's pretty accurate with his passing. But I really think there's a chance for a couple interceptions in this game. I think that Quentin kind of broke loose last week when he got that interception and almost another interception last week against Cam Newton. So now Shaquille's going to have to start doing that as well. Jamal Adams, he's probably going to have to be used for pass rushing and get to the quarterback, get to Dak and sacking him and stuff, and more run stuffing duties. So Quandre Diggs is going to have a big day in the free safety position to help cover these receivers deep.
Let's move on to our predictions. Looking at this Seahawks offense and crazy good looking defense, I'm pretty sure the Seahawks can win 38-24, and that's a lot of points, even though there's a lot of talent on this Cowboys offense and defense. I think the Seahawks will be able to crush this Cowboys offense and defense. What do you think?
Well, I kind of agree with you. The defense is going to have to step up at some point. There's a lot of talent there, but the pass rush has been the real weak link. If they can somehow get to Dak and fluster him a little bit, I think this will be an easier win than we think. But I'm taking a 31-24 victory. That's what I see. So that'll do it for our show today. Tell us what you think in the comments section below. Be sure to destroy that like button and subscribe to our channel. By the way, don't forget to turn on that notification bell so that you'll be notified when we post a new video. This is Art
And John.
signing off.